I can't land on a positive if there's one that exists for a normal-sized person. The size of the Titanic.
You need to find a positive.
There's no positive, Dawn.
There is a positive.
Where?
You need to find it. Stop thinking negative, because then you're not gonna find any sort of positive.
Stop yelling at me.
Then stop yelling at me.
Let me get a nurse real quick. Can you give me a hand real quick? If you can help her push up. Jesus.
Don't let me go, please.
Just come on.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I can't do it.
You serious?
Wow, she's back home and it's like Freedom Day. The woman's finally out of the hospital and she's super pumped, but she's also freaking out about doing things alone. She's excited, but living solo has her all jittery, like, what did I get myself into? It's a mix of happy and scared, and you can just feel the worry building up for what's coming next.
Today I'm home after being in the hospital for a while, and I feel really good to have my freedom again. But to be honest, I'm real scared about being here because living alone at home freaks me out. I can't imagine it's going to work, but I have no choice.
Honestly, this part is just wild. She's loving the freedom, but can't resist the food. She's back to ordering whatever she wants, finding comfort in snacks, even though she knows she's gotta stick to the diet. But let's be real, she's stuck between gotta eat healthy and, hey, might as well be happy with fries if I'm gonna go out anyway. The temptation here is real, and there's no telling if she'll stay strong or snack her way off track.
I need her help for her, and then when they leave, the rest is up to me. The positive thing is that I'm able to order anything that I need or want or like. It's comforting to me. So I've been following the diet. Sometimes it's just like, why bother? If food makes me happy and I'm gonna die anyways, why don't I just make myself happy?
Cue the sad music because it's like watching a family drama live. Her daughter's all choked up seeing her mom struggle just to move around, and it's heart-wrenching. Watching her mom lose her energy breaks her heart like the saddest soap opera ever, and it's hard not to get caught up. But just when you think they've hit rock bottom, it's about to get even crazier.
It's really hard to watch my mom like this.
It's so good it makes me want to cry.
Is it actually really that good?
It really is.
It breaks my heart seeing my mom just kind of lose mobility.
You can almost see her daughter's head spinning with worry in this scene, like Home Sweet Home or Home of Doom. She's glad her mom's out of the hospital, but at the same time, she's biting her nails, wondering if being home was the worst idea ever. She's got this serious fear that her mom's mental health is hanging by a thread, and she's all like, please, no breakdowns. As if things weren't already intense, now there's a storm brewing, and it's about to get messy.
I was excited for her to come home today, but I was also unsure because I feel like the best place for her right now is probably the hospital. I used to always expect the worst, and I was trying not to do that and be happy for her. But I know that she's definitely scared of being alone, and I was scared that she's gonna have suicidal thoughts and be not okay on her own whenever we leave, and that's terrifying to me.
It's nuts how fast things go wrong here. Like, she just got home and bam! The air conditioning is busted, and suddenly it's Disasterville. She's trying to be chill, but each little problem makes her want to throw in the towel and call it quits. She's on the verge of totally melting down, and honestly, this is just the beginning of a whole lot of trouble.
At first, everything was fine, and then everything went south really fast.
I just want to go back. I'm so disappointed about the Central Air situation.
And it just progressively got worse.
I'm so overwhelmed. I'm shoving through like that face.
It's really hard to watch her spiral like that.
This scene is honestly like, are you serious? She's mad because her place feels like it's made for, well, anyone else but her. She's kinda like, okay, this place is cool if you're tiny and not, you know, me. But her daughter's trying to cheer her up while the mood just gets crankier by the second. And just wait, because the more they try to help, the more chaotic it's gonna get.
I can't land on a positive if there's one that exists
This is a good apartment. This is an amazing apartment.
for a normal-sized person. The size of the Titanic.
You need to find a positive. The more you continue to talk about the negative, the more
There's no positive, Dawn.
there is a positive.
Where?
You need to find it. Stop thinking negative, because then you're not gonna find any sort of positive.
Stop yelling at me.
Then stop yelling at me.
She's finally catching a break and making some progress. It's actually kind of sweet to see. Even though things are tough, she's moving around better, relying on her walker a little less, and feeling like she might actually be able to do this. She's pushing herself, and you can tell she's psyched to show her doctor she's getting stronger. But don't relax yet, because there's one big doc visit coming up that could change everything.
This past month has just been hard. Harder than I thought it would be. But I haven't let that stop me from working hard to make it to my weight loss and mobility goals. And I know I've made more progress this past month because I'm back to handling more on my own. I still need my walker if I get too tired, but I can walk some without it now, so I'm using it a lot less. It's just when I push myself too hard that I have to get it. And once I'm at that point, I have to have some help.
Her determination here is next level. Like, she's seriously putting in work. She's sticking with the physical therapy her doctor recommended, hoping that all the sweat and hard work will help her hit that big weight goal. It's all about proving herself, and she's giving it her best shot. But even with all that effort, there's still a long way to go, and anything could happen next.
Dr. Now told me he wanted me to do PT and start psych therapy this month. So I've done some stuff with PT. I called them and I've been doing that 1 to 2 times a week. And I've just focused on my physical progress right now because I feel like I needed to give that my all since I've got such a big goal to hit by this month. So that's what I've done. I'm hoping how I've pushed myself has paid off.
The pressure's on, and you can tell she's a mix of nervous and pumped for this weigh-in. She's planning to hit up the hospital for a check-in soon, and she's hoping all her hard dieting has gotten her closer to the target weight for surgery. She's crossing her fingers and saying, "Please let me hit that goal." But the clock's ticking, and even she's not sure what's next if things don't go her way.
And I'm supposed to be down to the 600s from 940. 690. I guess if you go by Dr. Now's math, I'm losing 250 pounds. But I think I did that to make that weight. And if not, I'm at least close because I feel like I've been starving myself, you know? Ivan! Are you guys interested in coffee?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'll just have a salted caramel, whatever that thing is you get me.
Watching her handle her diet is kind of funny because, hey, cheat days make it all worth it, right? She's sticking with her doctor's diet, mostly, but she's also treating herself to little snacks here and there to keep her spirits up. It's like one treat won't hurt, right? She's finding a way to balance treats with progress, but staying on track isn't easy when you're still facing challenges around every corner.
Dr. Now's diet for the most part. The only difference is I still give myself treats and little rewards here and there to help deal with things. And I still give myself cheat days once every week to help motivate me. Because I can push myself knowing that I'll have a reward waiting for me.
Just want to make food because I like it.
So that's how I kind of trick myself into eating less.
She's putting it all out there. Like, this is her big confession that she just can't make it alone. She knows the only way she'll get through this is with that weight loss surgery. No question about it. If she doesn't get the surgery, she's pretty sure this will all fall apart, and she's desperate for a solution. And as she gears up for what's next, time's running out for her to make this dream happen.
So I can get transferred to Houston and ultimately have weight loss surgery. It's just too hard to control my eating and to keep cutting back like I have been. It's way too hard without something stopping me from eating and help me change my habits. So I desperately need to get weight loss surgery or I'm not going to be able to succeed at this and change my life the way I need.
The hope here is seriously uplifting, and it's kinda amazing to see her so fired up for the future. She's gearing up for her next hospital visit, fingers crossed for a green light to head to Houston for surgery. She's ready to go, picturing that new life she's been working so hard for. There's one final hurdle she's gotta face before she can even think about that new chapter.
And I've worked really hard to be able to move towards getting it. And hopefully when I go to the hospital next week, it all goes as planned. So this time next month, I'll be in Houston preparing to get the surgery and start with a new chance at a better life.
Okay, so Steven's been hanging out in the hospital for a whole month, and get this, he actually says he's doing okay. He talks about how he's been trying to stick with his treatments, even though it's hard work. He's kind of proud of himself, saying it feels good to be doing the right thing. Just wait till you see how long that mood lasts, though.
I've been in the hospital now for a little over a month and it hasn't been too bad. It's hard, but it feels good to do what I'm supposed to be doing.
Thank you.
So for the most part, I'm feeling really good.
Steven's patience runs out fast, and he's ready to let the staff have it. He's pretty annoyed that every time he hits the call button, it takes ages for anyone to show up. He feels like they're totally ignoring him and wants them to be there in seconds, like, come on already. Buckle up, Kai, because his complaints are just getting started.
But there have been some frustrating moments that have been harder for me to deal with. Mostly how long it takes for people to respond to the call button. My lunch is awfully late. Oh, he just left just now. All right, so it should be here then. Okay, thank you. I get frustrated sometimes. That's what's going on. I'm not trying to be mean. Trust me, I'm not.
I'll be okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, this is where Steven's demands go totally off the rails. The nurses say he's gotten way more demanding, expecting everyone to treat him like a king and wait on him 24/7. They're all rolling their eyes because he acts like the world revolves around him and nobody else matters. This is just the start. Soon, the doc has to step in.
We're starting to develop some issues with Steven. Over the past month, a lot of his pathological behavior started to come out. He's become abusive to hospital staff, and he expects everybody to wait on him hand and foot.
I need somebody in my room immediately. I have been waiting. I want this light off.
He thinks the world should revolve around him like a child does.
Now the doc's here and he's like, hey Steven, maybe don't act like a spoiled kid, okay? He basically tells Steven he needs to chill out and start being nice to the nurses, or else he's going to be in big trouble. The doctor isn't putting up with Steven's attitude and warns him to cut it out. But does Steven listen? Not a chance.
All right, so you seem like you have an issue getting along with hospital staff, and I'm not liking what I'm hearing.
At times, I sometimes I get frustrated. I tell them, if I act like a kid, I want you to treat me like a kid.
How old are you?
I'm 33 years old.
So it's time for you to grow up. It seems like this nurse is getting agitated with your behavior.
Whoa, here the doctor gives Steven a big-time ultimatum, like fix your attitude or we're out. He says Steven's behavior is getting out of control, and if he doesn't shape up, he won't get the care he needs anymore. This is Steven's last warning, and the doc isn't messing around. But guess what? Steven just keeps pushing those buttons.
At this point, Steven is having a behavioral problem, but at the meantime, he's very sick and he needs medical help. And we're not going to let this Steven button. We'll continue to treat him, but if he doesn't show some change in his behavior, then we will be unable to continue his treatment in the hospital. So it's his choice.
Steven's on a roll with his constant complaining. Even after all the warnings, he's still hitting the call button like there's no tomorrow, yelling for help every 2 seconds. The nurses are exhausted from running back and forth, and he just won't let up. Think he's done yet? Not even close.
After Dr. Nasruddin talked to him, Steven didn't change at all. He keeps bothering, he keeps calling.
Damn it! Are they serious? I hit that by an accident because I don't feel good, you know what I'm saying? You know that.
I never seen any patient like Steven. He asking for pain medicine every 15 minutes and then he spilled urine on the floor.
All right, now Steven's getting desperate because the doc is ready to kick him out. The doctor's had it and tells Steven that if he doesn't stop, he's out of the hospital for good. Steven starts begging, saying he'll be better, and pleads like crazy for another chance. The doc doesn't look convinced, but wait till you see Steven's next move.
Steven, what's going on with your behavior? You got a whole host of complaints from the nurses that you need to change your behavior. You haven't.
I know that, and I apologize for it.
Apology mean nothing. You come here for help, and at this point, there's nothing I can do to help you. So you're done here.
I've been doing good and everything, please.
And unless you have an emergency, you will not be admitted back.
Boom, the doctor's like, nope, enough's enough. He's over Steven's pleading and says, call your dad, you're done here. Steven realizes the game's up and tries to pull a pity party, but it's not working. Now it's the doc's turn to get the last word, and he's about to drop some truth bombs on Steven's behavior.
Please, I want to.
Steve, there is no room for negotiation in here. This is not going to be tolerated by anybody.
I'll do anything for another shot.
You want to help, you don't abuse people around you. And you call your dad, come pick you up.
Can you call him?
Very well. We call your father to find out where we will take you.
Now, this is the part where the doc lays it all out about Steven being a big-time manipulator. He's like, Steven just says whatever he needs to get his way, but has zero plans to change. The doc knows Steven's whole act. Crying, begging, and all that, but sees right through it. This last scene says it all. Steven's on his own if he doesn't make the real choice to change.
He will do whatever it takes to get his way. So he will cry and he'll beg, but the reality is he doesn't care about changing. No matter what you're addicted to, it all comes down to a choice. Either he wants to change and he's willing to try, or he isn't.
I'm really sad and scared right now. And I can't believe this is happening to me.
This part is just wild. Chuck's journey for weight loss and a better marriage goes totally sideways fast. Chuck Turner, looking to Dr. Now for help turn his life around, started off strong even though he was close to 700 pounds. His wife, Nissa, felt more like a full-time nurse than a partner, and things got so tense that she finally asked for a divorce. Instead of understanding, Chuck flipped out, worrying more about losing his health insurance than losing his wife. Watching his meltdown just leaves you bracing yourself for even more over-the-top moments coming up.
Handicap, and you want to hold that against me?
You're 43 years old. You're old enough to take care of yourself.
I'm sorry. I promise I'll never make you mad this morning. I will make this work, I promise. I will do right. I don't have nobody to take care of me. She don't care. She does not care.
Penny takes doing things her way to a new, totally unbelievable level by actually frying food in bed. Yes, you read that right. In her episode, Penny goes against Dr. Now's advice from the jump, refusing to follow his diet plans and even cooking wontons while lounging in bed, proving she's not exactly big on rules. She tries to convince everyone that she's fine by saying she can just look at food and know the calories, because that's totally how it works, right? Dr. Now doesn't buy it for a second and calls her out on her food addiction, showing that Penny might be fooling herself more than anyone else. Her stubborn attitude just makes you wonder what other stubbornness is about to hit next.
Really don't need someone telling you right after surgery what you can and can't do.
I can pretty much look at food and calculate exactly what the calories are. I know the percentages from fat I should be having.
You have to make the decisions for yourself.
There really wasn't a diet given to us or to me. I'm waiting for the food.
All right.
I need to get something in me and I feel like I'm dropping all my sugar.
Brace yourself. Lisa's story is both super sad and just really, really hard to believe. Lisa Fleming, who went through a rough childhood and terrible trauma, ended up totally dependent on junk food and weighed over 700 pounds. But the shocker, maggots, yes, actual bugs, were found in her skin folds because she'd completely stopped cleaning herself. This shocking moment shows how far things had gone, and it's honestly hard to imagine what else could happen next. But this show always finds a way to surprise.
I need to check your leg.
Okay, big boy.
You ready?
A month ago, I started feeling sick and my leg was really bothering me. I kept saying, my leg is hurting bad. This is not the life that I want to live. I never thought that I would end up this way.
LaShanta's story is one big roller coaster of crazy moments. She's got a rough past and a fierce attitude to match. Between her teenage pregnancy, tough family life, and hard relationships, she ended up turning to junk food for comfort, and now her weight is causing serious health problems. LaShanta even hides fried chicken from Dr. Now, so he won't catch her cheating on the diet. Talk about sneaky. Her mom's nonstop criticism doesn't help, but LaShanta's attitude is so tough that she won't admit she needs Dr. Now's help. This showdown is just the start. More chaotic twists are waiting.
Hi, Dr. Now. Yeah, this is LaShanta.
Well, what's going on? Because you were supposed to be back for your follow-up a few days ago. You showed me you're sticking to the diet. So why haven't you been back to see us? Usually when someone gives me the excuses, it means they haven't been doing the diet. So is that what's going on with you? You have to do your part and stop making excuses. You haven't done the diet and what you need, and you miss your appointment. And if you want me to believe that you really need it, when you say you want to do this, then you have to do better.
This is about to be one seriously intense ride. Joyce and her helper are packing last-minute stuff for her big trip. She's got a 12-hour haul to Houston, and she's already worried about the pain. Not to mention, she's pretty freaked about fitting in the van, especially if the weather goes bonkers. And guess what? The trip hasn't even started yet.
You have everything packed?
We have a few little stuff to put here or there, but not much.
Okay, let me throw this out there.
I got the call last night from Dr. Now that a medical transport will be here to pick me up at 5 a.m. today to take me all the way to Houston.
Talk about getting more nervous by the second. Joyce is stressing hard about the ride, worried she'll end up outside if they can't fit her in the transport van. She's not thrilled about spending hours squished up with her sore body, but she's trying to stay positive. We haven't even hit the road, and it already feels like a movie scene.
And then I'm really worried that they're gonna have a hard time getting me in the transport. It's bad weather. And if they're not going to be able to get me in the vehicle, then I'm going to be out in the elements, and that's making me very nervous. And I just have to trust this is going to be worth it.
Good morning.
How are you?
Pretty good.
You can feel the yikes in this moment. Joyce is getting hoisted up, and she's way more scared than she thought she'd be. She's clinging to her helper, hoping nothing wild happens. Both of them look like they're trying to play it cool, but it's clear they're freaking out a bit inside. And trust me, the hardest part is still coming.
We got you.
Deep breaths.
We got you.
This is so much scarier than I was even imagining. And I'm just terrified that this isn't going to work and something's going to go wrong.
And she's going to be in front of me on the medical transport.
1, 2, 3.
The medical team waiting for her looks super serious, like they're getting ready for a big event. The hospital staff is prepped and ready because this transport isn't just any old trip, it's life or death stuff. With Joyce's health on a steep slope, they know they need to act fast. They're about to meet her in one seriously rough condition, and they're not ready for what's coming.
Right now, we're expecting the arrival of Joyce Del Risco very soon. We were able to arrange a medical transport for her because with how poor the state of her health sounds, she likely wouldn't have been able to do this trip on her own without suffering a medical emergency.
Joyce finally arrives, and the pain is real. She meets Dr. Now, and she's barely keeping it together, telling him she's in a lot of pain. He's calm, saying they'll get her checked out, but you can see he's low-key worried too. The first exam is just the beginning, and there's a lot more to figure out.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, Dr. Now.
How you doing?
I'm in a lot of pain.
We're gonna get you in real quick and check you out, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Joyce's condition looks to already be severely deteriorated.
Dr. Now doesn't mess around, and he's worried. He checks out Joyce's condition and right away sees it's going downhill fast. Time isn't on their side, so he's planning a full-on treatment mission to get her back on track. It's serious, and Joyce doesn't have a lot of time to think about what comes next.
Time before things get even worse for her.
Joyce, do me a favor. Give yourself a hug again.
I don't feel secure, guys.
You're on the ground. You're good.
Inside the hospital, there's a tiny bit of relief. Joyce isn't freezing outside anymore. She's still hurting, but grateful she's not in a moving van. Dr. Now starts with her vitals, checking her breathing and overall health. He tells her she's not in immediate danger, but let's face it, there's still a lot to worry about.
All right, now that we got you inside, you feeling okay?
Feeling much better now.
Do you have any pain anywhere?
Just a little bit, like residual pain from being in pain for so long.
We'll get you feeling better real soon. All right, and no shortness of breath?
Dr. Now hits her with some truth bombs about her health, and it's a lot to take in. He mentions her weight and the risks that come with it in a pretty blunt way, trying to wake her up to the reality here. Joyce gives him a nod, taking it all in. There's a lot of work ahead if she wants to make it through this hospital stay.
Yeah, I'm a little hungry. I didn't eat all day.
Well, don't worry. We have eaten the food that belongs to next 3 years ahead of time, okay?
Maybe more than 3 years, Dr. Now. Yes, I do.
That's it, but we'll get you something, okay? All right. But anything else bothering you other than hunger?
You know it's serious when they start planning nonstop tests. Dr. Now orders more tests and warns that she'll need monitoring 24/7 if they're going to make any progress. He wants to build her strength back up so her health doesn't hit rock bottom. This is just the beginning of her hospital stay, and it's going to be intense.
I didn't go to the bathroom the whole time.
You need to go to the bathroom?
I do.
How much you can get up and do on your own?
I can walk a few steps with a walker.
Okay. You go to the bathroom by yourself?
I do. There's a bedside commode.
That's
A little support from her friend comes in like a breath of fresh air. Joyce's friend and roommate are there to cheer her up a bit, reminding her she's got people who care. It's a light moment, and you can see Joyce feels a bit better. But the hospital isn't done with her yet. There's a long road ahead.
Can I have a hug?
You made it.
all right. We're gonna get you up and let you go to the bathroom. I'm Dr. Zarda.
I'm Dawn.
You're...
She's my friend and my roommate.
all right. Let me get some help and we'll get you up.
Just like that, things get real again. Dr. Now makes it super clear that Joyce's condition is no joke and she's not out of the woods yet. He knows she has to stay here if they're going to keep her safe and get her health on track. The stakes are high, and each second counts, and we've still got a lot to go through.
Overall, we have a very dire situation with Joyce, and we have a lot of work to do with her before we make any significant improvements with her health to get her in a better place. But we'll do everything we can, as if we don't, she won't survive much longer.